Elle Macpherson is coming clean about getting clean. The 60-year-old Australian supermodel opens up about her alcohol problem, including how she regularly downed vodka and champagne alone, got blackout drunk and once even smashed a bottle of vodka open to drink from it. "My life looked amazing to everybody. On the outside I was doing a beautiful job, but, deep down inside, I was really struggling," she writes in her new book, Elle, Life, Lessons and Learning to Trust Yourself, BenBella Books, out now. She describes how after the birth of son, Cy, at a London hospital in 2003, she was gifted a bottle of champagne, but warned by her two naturopaths not to drink it so soon after birth as her hormones would be all over the place. However, after they left and I was alone with Cy in my arms, all I could think about was that bottle of champagne in the ice bucket. Macpherson rose to fame in the 80s and 90s with her wholesome Aussie beauty and athletic physique, which earned her the nickname, The Body. She graced the cover of the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue a record 5 times, and also had an acting career. But, behind her perfect figure and toothy smile, she was struggling, and things came to a head after she became a mother. She had her first child, Flynn, in 1998 with her then-partner French financier Arpad Archibasson, 61, and settled in London. Baby Flynn was very sick and was in and out of the hospital. Archie was often away during the week, leaving Macpherson alone with an ill child and her anxiety. "In the evenings, after I put him to bed, I'd find myself relaxing with a vodka," she later recalls in an AA meeting. At the 2000 Olympics in Sydney, she was part of the closing ceremony but missed her cue after imbibing beforehand. "I had drunk enough champagne or vodka to calm my nerves that it had disoriented me," she writes. Around that time, she considered going to rehab, but Archie told her she was fine. "I think he was afraid," she writes. "He didn't want me to be away from him, and I think he was also afraid of change." After coming home from the hospital with Cy, Macpherson got pneumonia and was sick for a month. As soon as she was better, she started working and going out again, desperate to show herself and her son's father that she hadn't lost herself to motherhood. "I loved spending time with Archie and I wanted to prove to him I would be his partner in fun and business while being the mother of his sons," she writes. "I would go out and drink, party, and become sick again. It became a constant repeat. I was in a horrible downward spiral." Later, in an AA meeting, she recalls, "I found myself having blackouts. I would be talking to somebody, and then I would forget what I was saying. They would look at me quizzically as if waiting for me to continue." She also drank at home, alone, fueled by both anxiety and a need to maintain a perfect image. "Often I would drink after I put my children to bed. I would sit down by myself and have shots of vodka, and then I'd write to-do lists and letters to my family. I would do housework, listen to music until around 11 p.m., then go to bed and pass out. I would get up in the morning, run 6 miles and have a coffee for breakfast," she writes of an AA confession, adding, "I would sick my fingers down my throat and make sure I vomited 3 times before I went to sleep. It was always 3 times. Still, she kept up appearance. People would tell me I was so organized. I was really proud of Hat. I guess I had to be organized because I was drinking and I never wanted anyone to know," she writes. "So I made sure the house was clean and tidy, I made sure I looked great, and I made sure the children were perfect." But those closest to her knew something was wrong. Her naturopaths told her she was harming herself so much they wouldn't be able to keep working with her, and her therapist suggested rehab. Before she went to rehab, though, she wanted to summer in Ibiza with her family. Her therapist cautioned against it, but she didn't heed her advice. The first few weeks on the Spanish island, Macpherson managed not to drink. But then one night, everyone was going out to the trendy space nightclub and she was upset not to be able to join Archie and their friends. So, after the kids were in bed, she tried to open a bottle of vodka. She struggled to open it and got so desperate she smashed the glass top off. "I hurriedly poured myself a shot that could have been littered with shards of glass. And I drank it," she later recalls in AA. "I remember thinking, I love this feeling. I'd missed it so much." After 3 drinks, she had a moment of clarity and was furious with herself. She poured out the rest of the vodka and got a flight back to London while her family remained in Ibiza. My youngest son was only 6 months old and my eldest was 5.5, she recalls.